Here's to whiskey kisses, the peaty taste of sin.
Greetings, whiskey folk, and welcome back to Drinking Out Loud, where we are exploring the Dare to Dram Whiskey Advent Calendar for 2024. Private advent calendar that I've put together for some friends in the whiskey community here in Victoria, BC. But you guys get to join in and explore along with us here on YouTube. Special welcome to everyone who is partaking of this calendar. Please do keep letting us know your impressions and your tasting notes down in the comments section. I'm very much enjoying reading all of you guys' thoughts. And today we've got the Benromach 100 proof. 10-year-old. So this is, God, I don't know how many years ago this is bottled now. It's quite an old bottling. It's, as you can tell, the branding has changed quite significantly in the last few years. But this one stands out to me because, honestly, this was the first Benromach that really made me pay attention to what they were doing. And I'm one of those guys, I honestly think that Benromach, since the brand refresh, if you will, has really upped their game. Not just in presentation, but in the styles of whiskies that they're producing. Like their Contrast series, absolutely incredible. Love everything I've had from the Contrast series. Their standard official bottlings have just become next level, and their single casks, of which we've so far bought 2 of, and we've been lucky enough to feature several other people's casks as well through our store here at the Strath in Victoria, have all been exceptional, and I have it on my to-do list to try and see if we can get cask number 3 soon, because I think we've got like 5 bottles left of cask number 2 for the Strath's Benromachs. They're pretty damn good. So I thought it's about time I revisited the one that started this journey for me and invite you guys along for the ride. This is the 10-year-old 100 proof, and for any Americans watching, this is not 50% alcohol. This is British proof, so 100 proof is actually 57% alcohol in some kind of... I don't really understand the translation between proof and ABV. I know it's got something to do with... It's naval proof, it's something to do with 100 proof is the ignition point when alcohol, if something to do with if you soak gunpowder in alcohol, it will still ignite. I don't know. Either way, 57. It's quite high. Yeah, interesting. Obviously, the box is very different to the modern Benromachs, the bottle as well. I don't like the logo for the old Benromach. It reminds me of the Goosebumps books. R.L. Stein, old high school. No, middle school. No, I didn't have middle school. But in Canada too long. Middle school's not a thing where I'm from. But that kind of age, early high school in the UK. Favourite series of books for me. I enjoyed the Goosebumps. But not exactly the connotation I want with my whiskey, I'll say. But yeah, I mean, the whiskey inside was fantastic. I know one of the big reasons that they wanted to change was... The logo being at the very bottom meant that all you could see on a bar was this top bit, and no one knew what it was, which is fair. Yeah. All right, so yeah, 21. Benromach's a Speyside distillery with roots reaching back to 1898, balances tradition with a touch of audacity. Known for its subtle, lingering peat smoke layered with fruit and malt, each sip tells a rugged landscape and old-world craftsmanship, bringing in a rich, grounded character that quietly celebrates Scotland's whisky heritage. It is a Speyside whisky from Scotland. It is a single malt Scotch whisky. It is 10 years aged from ex-bourbon and ex-sherry casks, and it's a discontinued bottling released at 57% alcohol with no added colour or chill filtration. Alright. So, of course, this isn't around anymore. What replaced it was the new cask strength edition, so it's not always at 57. It's, varies batch to batch. This probably was a bit of a pain in the ass to make, to balance it out at 57. Although, actually, I say that. I was thinking, because you'd have to find a cask that was 59 and a cask that was 55 and blend them equally to get to 57. It's like, no, you just find a bunch of casks that are over 57 and then water it down to 57. It's not cask strength, it's just 57. So yeah, I don't know where my mind went there. Ooh. That is lively. That is nice and... that's characterful. It's got this nice, rich maltiness on the nose. It's got a lovely sort of almost maritime peat to it. It's like, it's the fish market, but it's a fish market in, like, not the coast, No, that just makes it sound like it smells like old fish, doesn't it? Saskatchewan fish market. No, it's just not fishy. It's, it's vaguely coastal, but not overly coastal. It has that sort of, like, I don't know, like smoked scallopy kind of a nose, though. There's a nice umami, like, soy sauce thing going on through it as well. I dig that a lot. All right. My one... that's nice. My one complaint about the Benromach single casts that I've had, which are, like I said, all been fantastic, especially the two we've picked here at the Strath, is one of my favourite things about Benromach is how it creates this wonderful complexity by using both sherry and bourbon in their core range. And that's something that I feel is missing out a little bit when it comes to the single casks, because you get either sherry or bourbon. Like, if I was ever offered, I don't think this is a thing that Benromach does, but if I was ever offered like a ex-bourbon sherry finished single cask Benromach, I would be absolutely all over that, because as much as I love ex-sherry cask Benromach, and as much as I love ex-bourbon cask and Benromachs, I like them better when they're combined. I think the combination of those two cask types is better than the sum of its parts. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. It has those rich, beautiful vanillas and caramels, but it has this darker, tannic, fruity side as well. It's like a yogurt-covered blackcurrant. It's got both in one lovely little package. It's the maltiness that's really getting me today, though. It's been so long since I've had this. And I don't really remember that being one of the things I liked about it in the past, to be honest. But it's certainly something I'm really enjoying about it today. It does have this wonderful biscuity maltiness to it. Like the middle of a Malteser, By the way, North Americans, what's with Whoppers? Not like the Burger King thing, but like the little chocolate balls with the malt middle. They're like Maltesers, but bad. They're like the yin to Malteser's yang, or whichever way around yin and yang is. I don't remember which one's good or bad. But yeah, Maltesers, amazing. Whoppers, awful. Why do they exist? Who eats Whoppers? I'd love to know in the comments section if anyone here prefers Whoppers over Maltesers, and I will fight you on that ground, because I so heavily prefer Maltesers. I don't understand Whoppers at all. They taste weird. But yeah, like the middle of a Malteser. Or, one of the things that North America does definitely have going for it, the frosted chocolate malty milky thing, whatever they call it. Frosty, maybe, at Wendy's? I had one the other day, actually, as a celebration of moving in, and we don't have the energy to cook after moving all that furniture dinner the other day after we moved house. I really enjoy a Frosty from Wendy's. That's, I know, a little basic and maybe a bit weird to admit when I'm presenting fine scotch, but yeah, Frosty from Wendy's, getting a bit of that in this, and that's a good thing. Actually, it's like bacon as well. You know how there's a thing, again, this feels very lowbrow to admit, but I was taught by Brett, my manager, actually, so I'm going to blame Brett, the whole concept of dipping your fries in your Frosty. This is like dipping a Baconator into a Frosty. It's got the smoky bacon with the malty and chocolatiness. I don't recommend dipping a Baconator into a Frosty. That is probably not as good as this whiskey is by any stretch of the imagination, and will probably ruin both your burger and your drink. But maybe not. If anyone wants to take that risk, go ahead. Dip a Baconator in a Frosty. That, for science, please do. Anyway, I've reached the part of the night where I'm starting to ramble. Hopefully you guys enjoy this Benromach. Let us know in the comments. I would love to know what your favourite Benromach you've ever had is, because I've been lucky enough to have had many, many Benromachs, and a lot of them have been particularly special. I'd love to know what you guys' favourite is. Like, I mean, a part of me wants to say the Benromach 50 that I was lucky enough to try recently was my favourite, but honestly, My most memorable Benromach is probably one of the early Kensington Wine Market casks, which really inspired me to go after getting our own casks for the Strath. That was mind-blowingly good. And I would say the Strath casks, but I know you guys would call me out for a conflict of interest there, so they're out of the picture. But yeah, Kensington Wine Market knows how to pick a damn good Benromach as well. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow, December 22nd, for yet another wonderful whiskey. Slasher.
Find your way home. Your